Have you ever seen an air intake pipe this big? This is a 5-inch diameter pipe through and through. Beautiful titanium welds. This thing is huge. I feel like I'm armoring up to go to war. And look at the size of the cone. Come on. What is, like, this is like a Hellcat intake. Look at how skinny and tiny the factory one is. I think it's like a 2 or 2.5 inch. This thing's actually about to suck up all the air it possibly can. I got this from Garage Auto Sports, fabbed and welded in-house. This is not a drop-shipped intake. There'll be a link down below if you want to go check them out. They have a lot more to offer than just intakes, and I have a discount code to save you guys some money. Now, they told me they actually gained 32 horsepower just with this intake in a tune. That's insane. The stock box is the same size as the cone itself. It's quite literally twice the diameter of my factory intake. I have no idea what this is gonna sound like. Normally I wouldn't be making a long form YouTube video on just an intake, but this is not no ordinary intake. I also got a much bigger turbo inlet from them. The stock inlet's obviously not gonna line up to a 5-inch pipe, but this one does. Unfortunately, because we have to replace the inlet as well, this isn't just gonna be like a super quick install. There's some bolts that you have to access from under the car, so we're gonna have to lift it up and see what we're working with, but the intake itself is pretty easy to get off. Okay, little update, we got the stock intake out. A lot of stuff has to come loose and come apart here. Working on the inlet right now. There's actually a lot more space than I thought, so the cone will fit fine. I'm still interested to see how the piping works. Now the wheel also had to come off. Underbody tray had to come off. I loosened up the fender liner because you have to get access to some of the bolts underneath here, and this bottom charge port has to come out that connects to the inlet. So I'm not having fun. This is not an easy job at all. If it was a BMW, every inlet I've done on those cars takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. This calls for like 4 to 4.5 apparently. Definitely gonna take me longer than that. After some agonizing hours later, the inlet is finally out. Bottom charge pipe was out. This was actually horrible. The silicone was like so brittle and stuck on the turbo, I could barely get it. And all of that had to come out just to get one bolt at the back of this. Now, we gotta reuse this line, but they do like a tamper-proof screw or whatever it's called. So we have to like Dremel a line in here and then twist a flathead to get it out. Like, Audi, what are we doing? Probably the stupidest factory just like, why would they not just put like a normal bolt? Like, why do we have to grind out the screw to use a flathead?
They made it so hard. They made it so hard to get this thing off.
Fucking stupid ass design, dude.
That is absolutely nuts.
The old versus the new. Okay, everything on the top side's back together. The giant new inlet is in. It's time to route the intake pipe finally. Thank you to Corey for helping me out because I've been stuck on some stuff. The diverter valve gets converted to like a vent to atmosphere thing because this used to run into the intake here so it would recirculate. It also comes with their own like full heat shield rerouting or air route system. Much prettier than what the stock one looked like. The final step, if we turn this car on and there's like a bunch of issues somehow.
Are you ready to see this thing get turned on?
Fingers crossed, dude, I don't know.
Hey, we didn't have any leftover bolts, so I think we should be okay.
That's actually one of the first. One of the first for me for DIY stuff. I'm happy I went with the like raw titanium look instead of like the oily, like the blue, like burnt one, which actually I think also would look good with the blue here, but everything's kind of just like dark and it looks, I don't know, just flows nicely.
All right, ready for the first startup?
Yeah, I mean, it's an intake and an inlet. It's not gonna really like, what's it gonna sound like on a startup, you know? This is more so to find out if we did it right or wrong.
Holy shit. No, on startup, it just like you heard a lot of air going in the engine. It's a lot. It didn't sound like that before. You're gonna warm it up and then maybe get a couple revs, like little baby revs in there. Dude, that thing whistles like crazy. Oh my God, you hear crazy intake noise. Dude, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
amazing. Dude, you hear it like build up like crazy.
I don't know if the camera picks up just how big this thing actually is in person. So I'm gonna show my girlfriend here and record her reaction. I hope you're like, wow, this isn't the craziest.
Like, where is it?
You're gonna say it's the smallest thing you've ever seen.
No, it's like average. Oh, yeah, that's actually really big. It's like 1/3 of your engine bay.
I know, it's crazy.
Oh my god.
It's not too loud under like normal driving, like you don't really hear it.
Is it classy?
Yeah, only when you get on it do you hear like the shh. Put your hand on the cone.
Wow, yeah, that's big. You could like put your fist in it. Or my fist.
You wanna fist my intake?
Cut the camera's dead ass.
It can't be any bigger.
No, that's what I said. I said if they designed this to be 5.001 inches, it wouldn't have fit. With the tune, I think it'll be even louder than it is right now. Of course. Like at the end of the day, it's just an air intake. Yeah. Like I didn't like do a big turbo, but it's like before you could legitimately hear nothing. Like stock was like dead silent. I've got a mic inside the engine bay. I'm afraid it might be too loud. I don't know where to put it. Let's switch over to that audio now and see. Can you guys see how much my intake is vibrating and my whole engine? Victor said the same thing earlier when I revved it, I think, or like when I turned it on, like the whole motor like shook. I don't know if he got it on camera, but yeah, my motor mounts are looking like they're dead. I don't even know. See the engine vibrating on idle. I feel like it shouldn't really be moving. It's at 700 RPM. Is that a problem on RS3s? I don't know, but it's definitely something I'm going to fix next, I think. When I went to grab my intake from gas, I also picked up this titanium wheel stud kit. It's not the most exciting mod, but it's definitely a super useful one. First, when you pull your wheel off, you're trying to hold it straight so you don't hit your shield, your rotor, or scuff your caliper. And then when you're done doing what you're doing and you want to put the wheel back on, you got to sit here and try to line it up on the hub and line it up in the hole perfectly. Then you start turning the wheel to match the hole and the rotor starts turning. And again, you're trying not to scuff anything. I already put one in, but all you do is a little bit of Loctite. Then you just thread it into the same spot that your lug nut would have went in. And now it's 10 times easier to put it on the car. You don't have to waste time lining anything up. And when you take it off, the stud's already guided out straight, so you're not gonna hit anything. And then you just thread your new lugs on normally. Obviously on the front of the car is where you're gonna really struggle with trying not to scuff anything because the caliper is way bigger. As you can see here, mine has taken some damage before from a wheel hitting it. The stud kit also eliminates any threading problems you might have with the factory threads, as those can be rusty if they're old. They're also much easier to cross thread, and that's something you do not want to deal with. In terms of looks, yeah, they do look a bit different. This is the before and this is the after. I do think the stud conversion actually does look a little cleaner. but it's probably not something you'd really notice. Now, if you want to run spacers, you'll never have to worry about swapping out for extended lug nuts and then back to factory lug nuts when you go to stock wheels or different wheels, because there's plenty of extra thread on the stud. It's just one of those mods that makes sense. I don't know why I haven't done this with all my past cars, but all of my future ones will definitely have it done. That's gonna be it for this video, but it will not be it for modding the Audi. I have a ton of carbon stuff to put on maybe in the next video. More parts are arriving pretty much every day. Make sure you're subscribed to not miss out on the Audi content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.